There we go.
Everyone's a winner.
The British man is finally on.
Oh, blimey. It's hot already over here, but I was sweating trying to work that out.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell is going on with Facebook. Sometimes Facebook be tripping, man. Sometimes I gotta go in 3 and 4 times, and sometimes it connects right away, man.
Crazy. Well,
Yeah,
yeah, I wasn't getting any notifications at all until that last one that I just clicked on, obviously. But
I don't know what the hell is going on, man.
strange.
But guys, go ahead. If you can't catch this live, it'll be posted for 30 days on Pete's page and my page. Run these comments up, run these likes up, share, follow, put them in all your groups. Stars are activated; they are appreciated. Thanks, Pete, for joining me tonight, man. I
So
really appreciate it.
where's Noriega?
Yeah, where's Noriega? I thought he was supposed to be with you.
This is Drink Champs, isn't it?
It can be.
Well, I hope so. I've been drinking for the last couple of hours.
That's fine.
It's what happens when you get your mum as your manager, isn't it?
Don't pass out on me, man.
No, fine.
But
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. You?
Yeah, cool. It's 1 o'clock in the morning over here, so I'm in the kitchen because I've got my wife upstairs in the front room, trying to sleep, and my poor son upstairs,
Shit.
they're trying to sleep as well, but
It's 1 o'clock
he'll be fine.
in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh shit! It's 8:15 here.
No.
Holy hell!
It's slacking.
And but this is going to be very interesting because this is going to go so many different directions. I'm excited to have you on here. I've been trying to get you on here because I need to pick your brain a little bit, man.
Well, shouldn't take long, so.
Why
But,
don't you introduce to the people who you are and where you're from? I know a lot of people know you, but for those that don't, let them know.
well, I'm Cuban Pete from the UK. I work. I do like design work. That's how I got into all this. And from working with a lot of rappers, I'd always freestyled for years. But I got to working with rappers as well and started doing music myself properly. And that's where I'm sort of at now. I've got C75 Live, which is my music imprint sort of thing, with my own website and merch and all the rest of it. So yeah, we're about here.
How long you been doing it?
Well, I started doing music sort of properly 2013ish, something like that. But like I say, I was I was doing design work before that, and I still do it now. You know, like CD covers and T-shirt designs, logos, and all the rest of it. And I was working with a lot of rappers, and like I say, I'd always like freestyle and stuff like that, and done open mics and things. And we just got talking, and it was like, oh yeah, I'll jump on a track if you do this cover, because you know, rappers, they've never got any money. Not the ones I deal with anyway. So you know, it was like a quick pro quo thing or whatever.
Yeah, a lot of people don't want to spend money to make money. You know what I mean?
And I've never been scared to work with people based on not having money, because you know, there's been plenty of times I've not had money myself. So you know, I'm always willing to work with people, but you do need to bring something to the table. You know,
Yep.
It's not just a case of doing freebies, which, you know, over the years I've been involved in a few different teams and things, and everybody wants their own team of like rappers, and they build up their own network of people, and then they want everything free.
Oh
And,
yeah.
you know, it's like at some point you have to put your foot down and say like, no, I need paying for this.
Yeah,
Exposure books don't work everywhere.
it depends on what where you're at too. Where you're at and what kind of what you're looking for, and what people are willing to, invest in themselves, because not too many people want to invest in themselves. But that's what you have to do if you want to make a name for yourself, and a lot of people don't understand that.
And I mean, it's difficult because I've always had trouble with the whole invest in yourself thing because some of the people who say it, they just want you to buy their services basically, and it's not always something that's worth investing in. It's not always beneficial to you as an artist. There's a lot of promo people who say like invest in yourself, and they'll if you pay them $50, you'll get on 4 different blogs or something, and then that's it. Nothing happens, because people aren't actually going on these blogs apart from artists to see the posts that they've had put on there so they can share it. Promo is a big thing because there's so many rappers out there. You need to find a way to stand out and get yourself out there, because if nobody hears about you, then it doesn't matter if you're good or bad or whatever. They won't get a chance to even listen because they won't know you exist.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's difficult when you're first starting out. I've been around music for a long time, and I've had my opportunities to do internships at radio stations and everything else. And unfortunately, I turned them down because the situation wasn't right at the time. I DJ'd a little bit, so um, I I like to say I got a good ear for music, but it's hard starting out, especially what I'm doing, because I just started doing this here at the top of the year, so it's
Yeah.
it's very very difficult, and I appreciate all you done for me and the advice you've given me, and I've taken a lot of it in, and I'm trying to incorporate it into what I'm doing. So I appreciate that out of you. Um, Let me ask you a question. Why in the hell do you get so much flack from people?
Because I don't put up with a lot of shit, basically. I mean, I've got. It's difficult. I get in trouble unintentionally sometimes. I'll be friends with someone, and I'll ask a question, and sometimes I know the answer, and I'm just doing it for the fun of it. And other times I don't know the answer, and I'm just honestly asking because I don't know. Um, but if they're doing something, not that they shouldn't, but something on the DL that they don't want to tell everyone, or they're like people who get in the iTunes chart for a day and stuff. You know what I mean? The people like that they've obviously paid for a service to do it, and that's fine. But when I first sort of found out about that, I'd ask people questions, and obviously they didn't want to answer what they'd done. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, then they get pissed off at you, even though they're the one doing shiesty shit or whatever. Um, and it just sort of starts like that, really. But I've never been one to back down from anyone, especially especially over internet shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
It's like nobody's flying over to the UK to beat me up over a comment on Facebook or whatever, and I'm not flying over to America for the same reason. Um, so when people start calling you all the names and stuff like that, it's like, okay, carry on, but you're the one who looks like a dickhead because you were making shit up, basically.
yeah. I mean, people don't like honesty. That's what it is. And when you get caught up in your shit and somebody calls you out on it, they don't like that either.
Well, yeah.
But
I mean,
like I said,
there's so many, not fake things and stuff goes on in the game, and that, and it's difficult. You don't realize until you're an artist yourself and you get offered the same services and stuff like that. I had somebody email me today offering me reviews for my website and stuff, just like I could buy 100 reviews saying how great it is and stuff. It's like, it's not good, you know what I mean? It's like with all these, there's so many people fronting about how successful they are, and there's just no point because they're not real fans a lot of the time. It's bots buying streams, or um, you know, they've got a celebrity rapper on their track, so they're getting streams because of the name of that rather than their own music. And it's like, you're not the popular one, you're getting it through that. But some people want to pretend they're the big rapper, and it is what it is.
It is what it is, and that's basically why you get a lot of flack, because you speak your mind. Now you say things that other people wouldn't say, you know.
Well, yeah, to be fair,
And
I'm
I'm the same way. I mean, if it's not good, it's not good. Even though, I mean, music is opinion based, but you ask me for my opinion or whatnot, I'm going to tell you straight up if I'm a fan of yours or not. If I'm not feeling it, I'm not feeling it. It doesn't mean somebody else won't feel it, but I'm not feeling it. So you know what I mean?
I mean, it's difficult because I'm not truthful to the point of intentionally causing somebody, embarrassment or whatever. I mean, one of M80's customers, he was buying all the features and stuff. And the problem is, I worked out eventually he was a little slow, mentally retarded or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously everybody he's friends with has told him his music's great because they're, what they're going to say. And then he's got all these streams based on the guest artists' names on Spotify and stuff. So he's thinking he's even more popular. And obviously he believes it all in his head. So he's then telling me, oh, you've only got this many streams and stuff, and making out like I'm the shit artist. And it's like, I can't be the guy to kill his dreams, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not that bad. I can't be that harsh on purpose, you know what I mean?
But sometimes that's what it takes. I mean,
I
if,
know, but bless him.
if you're not if you're not good, you're not good. I mean,
I know. It's difficult because then you've got people like hyping him up, and it's a shame. And that's the problem. That's the problem with all this shit. It makes them look popular, more popular than they are. Then it goes to the head, and they think they really are good, and it's like, you're not. I can't be the person to tell you. You should have friends and family, and difficult.
I mean, they want feedback, don't they?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm not being cruel when I say they're mentally retarded or whatever. I mean, literally, if you heard the music, you could tell.
I mean, you don't have to say that. I mean, but like I tell the artists that I work with, if you can't take constructive criticism, then you need to find something else to do.
I mean, we used to have a show over here. Well, you've still got it in America, I think, the X Factor. And you'd have all these like younger people going on with their family in the background, and their family have obviously told them how wonderful they are throughout the whole of their lives. And they go on there and it's like, well, we'll always love you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just see the judges like, huh? But but no, I mean, when somebody's got an obvious serious problem, I can't be the person to tell them. I'm not that harsh. But when somebody's fully facultied, then yeah, I'll embarrass the fuck out of them if they try me. But it is.
But so let's go another direction. What you got going on? How did you come about with the C75? How'd that come about?
C for Cuban and 75 for the year I was born, because I'm that old. But and I added the live because it rhymed basically. But I've always been an artist most of my life, really. I've always enjoyed drawing and stuff. So C75 sort of came from a graffiti point of view of like, the letter and the numbers and stuff, and so that's how that came about. I used to be it used to be called C75 Designs because I was strictly doing the artwork, And then when I started doing the music as well, I had another website, C75 Live, and the idea was one would promote the other. But as time went on, I was basically posting the same stuff on either one because it was all connected. So I just scrapped the designs one and just put it under the one banner.
Okay. Is it certain artists that you work with under that umbrella, or?
Yeah, I mean, I've got various artists who are down with C75. One Mike, B Divine, Six Foe, Neri, the producer, um, and there's been various other ones over the years. But you know how it is. It's hard to find someone with the same sort of, not even just work ethic sometimes, but you know, people have lives and shit happens, so
Yeah.
you know, it's fair enough. But you know, even I have a life sometimes, and you know, shit happens, and you can't always. People expect to drop things, and you can't always drop everything to do what other people want. So you know, I fully understand that.
Shout out to B Divine. I really like his music. I got him in rotation.
Yeah,
Shout out to
he's,
him. He does beats too, though. Too.
yeah, yeah. He's a producer slash MC.
Is he from the UK or is he from America?
No, he's from Long Island.
Oh, he's from Long Island. And you probably get a lot of your work from like networking, like I do, and stuff like that, or?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a few British people on C75, and you know, obviously, I work with English artists and British artists and stuff, but I do work with a lot of American artists, but it's not through any conscious choice. It's just obviously the power of Facebook. You meet people and get chatting, and stuff happens.
What's your relationship, if you have one, with M80?
We were friends, and it's not like I hate the guy or anything. But yeah, we were friends, and then as time went on, there again, I was asking awkward questions, and things came around, and we sort of fell out a bit. To the point I did the Domino Effect, which was pretty much a diss track to
Yeah,
him and Anno Domino or whatever.
yeah.
It's not like these anybody else says it right. So yeah, Ammo Domino. But I mean, I don't know about 80. I'm not sure if he believes his own bullshit or not. I like to think he does because I like to give people the benefit of the doubt and all that. But you know, he says with all his lease packs and stuff, he's helping smaller artists to break into the game and all this. But you know, he hasn't broken any new artists with this. It's just you know, people who often aren't very good pay him to make money off the big name features. You know what I mean? It's a common ploy now that a lot of people do, and they are, unfortunately for them, 99% of the time shit.
Yeah.
Well, to varying degrees, but even if they can rap, a lot of the time they won't. There might not be creativity there, so they won't make a decent track out of it all, or their verse will be really poorly mixed as opposed to the rest of the track. You know, I mean, it's difficult. Whenever I've spoken to AT about it, he's always brought up that Wu-Tang track I did with Ghostface, Method Man, and Master Killer. And it was a track I did for fun. I got some verses off Kinetic, you know, I'm working with at the moment. And I saw the potential of them to play around and do something. And I checked they hadn't been released before, and nobody dropped anything with them on, and I couldn't find a thing. And obviously, I know people who know people, so that they know what they've heard before and stuff. So I thought, yeah, fuck it, I'll try it. I'll have a go. And I just did a track. It was like based around a heist, and I chopped up the verses, so I was incorporating my own bits into the song, as opposed to just tacking my own verse onto the end, which was nothing to do with the song and stuff. which a lot of people did. The versions I heard, and I mean, I paid what? Paid him $100, I think, something like that, and I got a beat as well and a verse off him and stuff. Various stuff thrown in. But I think some people were paying like 500 plus, so they weren't very happy when I banged out my superior version in a few days and got it out first. I mean, if anybody else had done a version first that I'd heard, I wouldn't have done it, just because I didn't want to be copying anybody else, really. I mean, somebody did a similar idea shortly after, a month or two after, and I liked the version they did. And if I'd have heard that first, if they'd have done it first, I wouldn't have done my version. But because there's no point in just copying other people.
Let the people know what you think the problem is with least speaks.
Well, I mean,
because a lot of people I see don't understand, the concept of a least speak.
Well, the thing now is you can monetize them, which you couldn't before. A lot of people, I mean, Domingo, 80s mate, he used to speak out about least beats all the time. He was like, why would you? You put your song out and then the song gets pulled because the systems or whatever recognize the beat. But now, with the way the paperwork's done, I don't know how it's done legally, but you can monetize these beats and features. I mean, the Rakim one that's come out, the God Pack or whatever, it's 100 people are going to have the same Rakim verse and 6 beats. It's just, but it doesn't help the smaller artists. They're paying 80 for these features and stuff. And beats wise, it's good because, not everybody recognises beats, and I don't mind beats so much, but verse wise, being an MC, that's the part I have a problem with, because when I do a feature for someone, I tailor it to the track and the person, and they've just got these other people have just got some random verse. I mean, even 80 was laughing at when there was a Jadakiss verse going around, and everybody, a lot of people used the same beat that came with the verse.
Yeah.
And they called it the same title, Extremist or whatever.
Extinction.
And even he was laughing about the lack of originality. It was like,
wasn't that Extinction or Extremist or something like that?
Yeah. But yeah, everybody called it the same name, and even he was laughing about that. And I mean, he does laugh at, because when we were still speaking before he blocked me on various platforms, well, all of them, we did discuss it, but I was like, I mean, Big Pun, for example, in this Destroy Your Legacy pack he did, I called it Destroy Your Legacy pack, but it was called the Legacy pack or something. I mean, Big Pun does not want 100 songs out there with the same verse from him on and 100 or even 60 whack rappers on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He doesn't or wouldn't.
I don't see the point in it, really.
And it's difficult because on one hand, obviously the artists, or in the case of the deceased artists, their families get paid, so I can't knock that side of it. And to be fair, I did think, well, the algorithms pick it up on Spotify. But if you type in, there's an artist who works with 80 called Dr. Moriarty. If you type in Dr. Moriarty, Sean Price on YouTube, you really have to scroll down or past a lot of videos before you get to his, and the title's got his name in it. You know what I mean? It's like, so it's only Spotify seems to work with properly, but they tend to get a lot of streams on there, and it must just be an algorithm thing or whatever with the, Sean Price's name goes in and boom, you're away. And a lot of them swear they haven't done any promo, so, and that many people say it, I'm sort of believing it, but it must be an algorithm thing, because if you're not promoting it, then it's just basically Spotify picking up on the famous rapper's name.
Yeah, Spotify's cracking down on a lot of things, I heard, though.
Oh yeah, I mean, my track, The Domino Effect, got pulled the other week. They said I'd bought streams for it, which, you know, I was there contacting DistroKid, who I released it through, and Spotify themselves, saying, like, you know, this is something I talk about myself, warning other people not to. So why would I do it? You know, I've obviously not done it on purpose. Can you tell me where these fake streams came from so I can avoid it in future and stuff? And they just sort of pass the buck backwards and forwards between themselves. So it's difficult. It's, you know, they both wanted to wash their hands of it, because when you get the bigger artists doing it and all these big labels, you know, they all buy streams and stuff.
Of course.
Yeah, but when it's for an artist that's drawing people to the platform, they're obviously not going to say anything. You know what I mean? So they crack down on the smaller artists, and unfortunately, I'm not an international superstar yet, so so that includes me. But yeah, it's just a bit shitty.
So that's probably why a lot of people are going to Bandcamp and other various sites.
Well, I've always been a big fan of Bandcamp, and you know, people like Bad Seed and I think John Jiggs as well. They're trying the Bandcamp only method, see if that helps from a sales wise point of view for them. And you know, I've spoken to them about it, and I think, you know, there's pros and cons for it all. Obviously, you don't want to cut out the chance of potential new fans by not being on the DSPs, the service providers or whatever, like Spotify and that. So, you know, it's difficult.
I've told artists that we need to try to come up with a streaming service totally for independent artists. And that would be hard to do, but I wish they had that, like underground artists only.
I mean, really, you did with SoundCloud and stuff, and you do with Bandcamp.
But to be able to get paid off of it, SoundCloud, you
well,
can't get paid off.
I thought you could get paid off SoundCloud now.
Not that I'm aware of.
I'm not too sure, to be honest. I thought you could now.
You might be.
But yeah, traditionally you haven't been up until recently anyway.
Yeah. But speaking of, you knew I was going to ask you about this, but speaking of Seed.
Okay.
I know you, Bad Seed.
Oh, yeah.
I know you guys are cool, but why you guys like going back and forth at each other?
Because we're both argumentative as fuck. And neither of us wants to back down.
Good answer.
And that's the problem. And I'm sure when we were doing the diss tracks last year, was it? Or the year before? You know, and people still talking about it all now. On posts and that. But, you know, everybody took it so seriously. I mean, people I hadn't seen for years, even on his posts or in his comments, saying, "Oh yeah, you killed him." And it's like people from, you know, my Everybody Hates Pete EP days, you know, Sleazer and people like that, Donny G or whatever, Mars. You know, it's like came out of nowhere, and it was good hype for us both.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously his was funny. Mine went for the juggler a bit more, but you know, it's everybody's got opinions on shit, so I don't really care. A lot of the opinions were more personal. I mean, obviously he's American, I'm British. You know, so there's that from the American side. He's friends with a lot of people who, like I say, don't particularly like me, so there was opinions from that side as well. And he was, you know, pretty honest about it, and he's said many times since that, you know, my diss track was one of his favourite diss tracks to him. So, you know,
he respects you don't back down from a challenge. That's
well, yeah, and you know, he said, you know, there's a lot of people who wouldn't have gone at him. So, you know, it's yeah.
I know I trolled the hell out of you, man.
Oh, I've lost track, to be honest. I mean, I used to go on his posts
a little bit.
I used to go on his posts and go through the comments, because I mean, there's people when they see like somebody of Seed's stature going against a lesser known artist like me, which I am, You know, they're like, if they don't like me particularly, they're like, oh yeah, we can jump on Seed's back, and you know, he can carry us and stuff. And it's like you had them all in the comments, and it was great for trimming down my friends list.
Yeah.
You know, even a post recently, we were talking about the Eminem track or whatever, and there was people jumping in the comments saying like, "Oh yeah, well fuck Pete and all this," and it's like, I'm still friends with you on here. We were going to do some tracks together. It's like, what the fuck?
They take this
It's like,
Facebook
do you
shit
not
way too
realise?
serious, man. They take this Facebook shit way too serious, man.
And
I mean, you got to have a little fun with it, you know. Like I said, I was trolling the shit out of you, and you were like, "Where the hell did you come from?" And I was like,
I mean,
"I had to,
I can laugh at myself, and you know, I don't take a lot very seriously. Um, so yeah, when you see people just going crazy in the comments, it's like, what's wrong with you? I mean, like I say, the post recently that somebody jumped in, you know, I hadn't spoken to him for years. Thing is, I got hacked not so long ago, so I've changed I've had to make a new profile. So there's a lot of people that I had blocked that aren't blocked now. Um, and this guy the other day, this guy made a comment on a post. Oh, somebody made a post saying, "Who's the worst rappers ever?" or something. And this guy, we've gone back and forth a few times. Um, and he says I'm trash now, but he didn't say that before when we did tracks together. But they never do.
no, of course not."
But, he made a comment saying me, and then somebody showed me it. They messaged me saying, "Oh, I've seen this," and he obviously didn't realise that I'd had set to a new profile and he wasn't blocked anymore, or he blocked me. I can't remember now. We had a laugh about it, you know, because it's not like we hate each other, but but yeah, that was funny.
I think the battle you and Seed had back and forth, I thought that was a little entertaining, man. I enjoyed that. You
Well, it
know,
is.
it was
Um,
it was fun to watch. You
I
know,
mean, thing is, I had nothing to lose, technically speaking, because he is the bigger rapper. Um, but regardless of what people thought of my response, you know, like I say, Seed himself, you know, he liked it. I mean, we were going to do a track together just to piss everybody off, but we never got around to it in the end with shit coming up. But yeah, I mean, but you know, there's no doubt we'll work at some point in the future.
yeah,
Um,
I like
I think he's great. You know, we like each other.
yeah, I like to hear that. But how did you come up with the concept of the latest? Talk about the latest C75 album you got out.
Like C75 Friday.
The one you
That's
have,
it. With all the collabs.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say it now. Um, Available only on Bandcamp because even though the one track has been, all the tracks were released as singles apart from the big three bonus tracks. But Spotify again, it's got it in for me. I don't know. When I tried to upload it as an album, it wouldn't let me upload the one track. I think it was just the one track because it said it must have been a sample or something like that. I don't know. And it was like, but you've already released it as a single for me, so I didn't want to rock that boat, so I just left it, and I've done it as Bandcamp only. Um, I should have just left it on Spotify. I'm sure it would have been fine. But yeah, I mean that came about because I had a bunch of beats of people who wanted me to rap on their beats, and I had a bunch of artists that wanted to work with me. So I thought, well, why not combine it all? Obviously, there's a lot of rappers have done like you know a track a week or you know an EP every month or something. So I thought every couple of weeks I'll release a single. With it's mostly people I haven't worked with before. There's a few on there I have, but um, so yeah, it was the idea was obviously there was like three or four people involved in every track, so we'd all promote it that track, and then when the next track came out, I'd have another so many people promoting and so on and so on. And yeah, this year's gone so fast. I mean,
Oh
I
yeah.
did the last single in January, I think, and I've been caught up with this Kinetic album, and I've been meaning to release the hard copy and compilation album of C75 Friday, but I've only just got round to it, so I've done it. Um, and there'll definitely be a volume 2 because I've still got stuff and people, and you know, I've still got a bunch of tracks that didn't make it to the first one because I had to do a cut-off point at some point. I didn't want like a 46 track album or something. Um, so yeah, but it's been great. Opened me up to a lot more people. Like I say, when did I had to start my new profile on Facebook about last year, I think, November-ish or something. I can't remember now. But yeah, that's sort of fucked everything up a bit. Because I did have a lot more followers and friends, and I'm sort of stuck at like under 500 now. Because I do most of my business through Facebook for everything. I've just never had any luck with Twitter. Not much luck with Instagram particularly. And it's something I'm still trying to crack, but Facebook's always been my go-to place for interactions and likes and shares and all the rest of it.
Instagram seems more difficult because I'm on there too, and I mean, I don't post much on there, but it seems like it's more difficult
I'm
to
getting
get.
more interaction off Twitter, not Twitter, TikTok at the moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, nearly a couple of thousand views each video and stuff. I don't know why. I'm not doing anything different. I hadn't even posted on there for a while. Then I posted some of the videos I've got off me in Kinetic and Crumb Snatcher and Be Divine and stuff, hyping up the new album. And yeah, the people have been watching them. Weird.
That comes in July, right? The new one.
Um, yeah, 16th of July. There's a war going on outside. I gave it the whole army theme because obviously Kinetic, aka Beretta 9, is from Killer Army. And I didn't. I'm sure a lot of people would have gone the whole Wu theme with him, but I didn't want to do that because I didn't want to dick ride the Wu name particularly. So I thought I'd keep it an army theme along those lines. And even then, I'm not. I mean, he does a lot of work with different people, and a lot of them they'll slap a big W on the cover and say, "Oh, Kinetic 9 from Killer Army, Wu Tang, and all this." And it's like, obviously, we do mention it on the album because he's an official affiliate. He's on a couple of classic Killer Army Wu Tang affiliated albums. But I didn't want to push it as that because it's corny. It's
You
corny.
did mention it on the Step Up track.
Step up, did I?
Yeah, I believe.
Ooh.
Because I just did that track a couple times, and I think you mentioned like Wu Tang in that track a few times.
No, it can't be. I might have mentioned once or something, but oh yeah, I mentioned something about protect your neck like Wu Tang because it
Yeah.
went with the previous line. Yeah, but no, I was there's a lot of rumours going round about me or go round about me, and I'm sure there must be a secret Facebook group or something because everybody seems to have the same thing in their head. But yeah, people are convinced I'm trying to be Wu Tang and stuff like that, and that's another reason I purposefully left it all out of this album. Um, but yeah, I've never said I'm Wu Tang. I mean, a lot of the people I work with have, whether they are or not. But I've never done it. I mean, I was down with Hellraiser and his ghetto government officials crew, but that I always did it as part of that, not saying like, oh, I'm Wu Tang because I'm this, because I wasn't.
I mean, if you don't got no haters, you're doing something wrong. I told you that
Well,
before.
yeah. I mean, I did a couple of years ago. I did a fuck you list, Just, just like a list of names on a picture or whatever. Just saying fuck you. People who pissed me off throughout the year, basically, or had fallen out with or whatever. And that pissed off a lot of people because they were friends with some of the people on the list. I mean, the whole thing with Mars One, it's like I had nothing against Mars particularly, and as far as I know, he didn't have anything against me. But I didn't realise he was working with a couple of people on the list more than I realised. So he just sort of like started blanking me, and then I'd see comments on posts from because people send me screenshots when they see my name mentioned in
I've
posts.
seen.
They know I
I've
can't say yeah, and I'd get screenshots from him and other people saying like, "Oh, Pete ain't shit" and all this, and it's like, but you're not even talking to me. You're just saying this on posts. I can't say. And he did actually reply recently because I mean he had to. And I've been calling him out that much because he's been saying stuff on posts. I presume he knows I can see. Although with some of them, like I say, with the new profile, who knows? But yeah, he was replying to me and just saying like, "Oh yeah, and you think you're tough and all this," and it's like, not at all. But we're just going backwards and forwards. He's a funny one. I mean, he looks like a muppet, but it's just weird. But
I mean,
Skeeter, is it? I can't remember now.
people just like to talk, man. I mean, they'll find anything to talk about.
Well, yeah. And they say any press is good press, and that's how the whole rap game works now, isn't it?
Yep.
Look like an idiot on YouTube, and everybody streams your music to see how much of an idiot you are, and whether they like it or not, you've got to stream, and you know, a fraction of a penny from Spotify and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you act like an ass. That's what sells. You know what I mean? That's what people like when people act like an ass, and that's what sells. So that's what people do.
Well, it's lowest common denominator stuff, isn't it? It's a shame.
But let's talk about the post that you recently put out about the Whitcomb features. What's your feelings on that?
I mean, I'm like a lot of people. Obviously, I'm glad to hear new Rakim music. He's done the beats, he's done the scratches, and all the rest of it. That's cool. I believe he's got a solo album coming out, which I'm
Yeah.
more looking forward to. But yeah, really, this EP is more of a M80 fan project than anything else. Um, I mean, I refuse to believe Rakim has sat down and said like, "Oh yeah, I really want a Compton Menace feature," or BG, or um, a lot of them. There's about 6 dead rappers on there.
I
It's
I haven't seen the track list, so I only seen what you sent me. But is that the
oh
whole
yeah,
track list?
that's the track list.
Oh,
7 tracks, 27 features,
what?
and one of them is Planet Asia's wife or something, or daughter. I don't know, some relation to him. And it's an M80 guest list basically. It's all people he works with.
So you don't
And
think he had any input on the feature side?
oh no, I mean no, I mean it's not that, and I'm sure Rakim has signed off on all of it. But at the end of the day, M80 has paid him for 7 beats, 7 verses, and then added all these features. And if Rakim signed off on it, that's fair enough. And I'm sure the album, well, people keep saying album, and M80's like, no, it's not an album, it's an EP. And then he'll post a video of him playing a song in a club or something, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, this is off the album." And it's like he's obviously said album on the press release, I think. But yeah, he's promoting it, and
But he's supposed to, like you said, he's supposed to be coming out with a solo album. So
yeah, I don't know if that's anything to do with M80. It's a solo album, probably not. Um, but
because he's
I don't know.
better by himself.
Well, I mean, I do
Besides
love.
Eric B, besides Eric B, He's better by himself.
I mean, I do love posse cuts, and I've done plenty on my own. I've done compilations of them. There's one on the website and stuff. A best of posse cuts thing I put on YouTube and stuff. Um, so I've got nothing against the EP for what it is. Um, but yeah, I went on the website where they're selling it and read the description of the EP, and I laughed at a couple of points because obviously he's hyping it up, he's got it, and I'm sure the fans will lap it up because they don't know any better, and so will some rappers. Um, but obviously me and I saw somebody else. DJ JS1 left some comments on a post recently saying, and I've tried to get clarification of what he meant, but he hasn't got back to me, so I don't know. I don't think he wanted to talk about it particularly, but so I've dropped him in it now, obviously. But but yeah, there's stuff goes on behind the scenes that obviously fans and people don't see or know or care about. A lot of people commented, well, a couple of people commented on that post. Why do you care about it? I've got things of my own going on. And it's like, well, you care about me caring. So, I mean, see, Ray put about 7 comments on there on various, in reply to various comments from mine, saying like, oh, you shouldn't care about it and all this. And it's like, well, you're caring about me caring.
You shouldn't comment.
But, well, oh yeah, but everybody's got opinions on everything. It's the internet.
Well,
Um,
I mean, you have your opinion. They have yours. I mean,
well, yeah, there's opinions on opinions on opinions.
yeah,
It,
it is what it is. But what do you think about the LL album coming out
oh, it's all
in the fall?
cool. I mean, I'm looking forward to all these projects. I mean, regardless of who's involved. The Rakim EP, Pete Rock and Common, LL and Q-Tip, and who else? Nas and Premier are supposed to be doing something as well. I mean, yeah, I'm here for all of it because at the end of the day, I love these MCs, and I mean, I'm sure the other projects will have a lot more control themselves over what's involved, so they should be even better. But yeah, I love it all.
You're not a big fan of M, then?
No, I mean he's a millionaire guy who he's sort of. I'm sure he loves hip hop and he's doing a lot of stuff for the right reasons, but he's a millionaire for a reason.
You think he's too gimmicky or what?
Oh, who? Sorry, Eminem.
Eminem,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, right. Sorry, I thought you said M as in M80. Oh, no, I forget. No, Eminem. Yeah, he's cool. I like him. I don't like everything he does. I think it's if you defend him at all in any way on the internet, then people are like, oh, you're a stan. It's like, so then you have to explain that you don't like half of his albums. You've skipped through them and stuff, and it's difficult. There's a whole thing about him. It's the same arguments time after time after time, and he only has to do a feature, let alone a single or an album, and your whole timeline is Eminem and people saying stupid stuff like he's trash, which he's obviously not. You might not like him, but he's not trash, is he? You know what I mean? It's but there again, it's opinions, and I mean, some people don't like my music. I mean, it's crazy. But no, it's stupid. To call somebody like him trash it's just hating. You might not like him, but you must appreciate plenty of the artists you do like him. And some of them even call him the GOAT. So, it's like, nah.
Do you have a top 5?
No. My top 5 changes, like, I hate the question. Like, everybody's like, especially people who aren't into hip hop, if you say you like it, they're like, well, who's your favourite rapper? And you're like, oh, God. I mean, it's like I've been listening to hip hop since, like, the mid 80s. I mean, it's like at least break it down to like a country or a decade. or a style. You know, I can't do it. It changes too much, and um, my personal tastes and listening patterns go through um, different stages. You know, it's like sometimes I'll be listening to West Coast stuff, other times I'll be strictly underground, other times it'll be a Dipset mashup or something. I don't know. You know, it goes through whatever. Um, I've never been scared of listening to mainstream stuff. Um, you know, I've always liked the good stuff that's broken through to the mainstream. And we have Public Enemy in the charts over here. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
technically they're popular, so you know what I mean. It's
What'd you think about the Drake and Kendrick thing?
a lot of me doesn't care because I've never been a Drake fan. Um, even I've tried because everybody was hyping him as the next big rapper and stuff, and you get people saying, "Oh, you should listen to this mixtape track from however many years ago," and you go and listen to it, and it was him singing or something. I've just never found much I liked. He can do it because he did some tracks on his last album, his bonus tracks, I think. So I know he can do it, but he doesn't generally do the sort of hip hop I want to listen to. So I'm not a fan. And Kendrick, his voice just annoys me sometimes. I can't. I appreciate what he does. To Pimp a Butterfly was. I don't think I was in the mood for it when it came out because I do like P Funk and Funkadelic and all the rest of it. I love Digital Underground, a lot of the stuff they've done. If that album came out when Sons of the P came out that Digital Underground did, I'd have probably liked it a lot more and appreciated it a lot more. But just in the sort of mental listening stage of stuff I was listening to at the time, I've never really, it didn't really strike a chord with me. I'd have to go back and re-listen, I think, because I think I would enjoy that album more if I was in the right mind frame for it.
Do you think a lot of this music now, in this generation, a lot of this music now is watered down too much?
No. Thing is, the mainstream's always going to mainstream. They do what they do and they follow trends and stuff like that. I mean, Drake's one of the biggest rappers out there and he follows trends. People think he's creating them because they don't know the trend he's following, but, it's. No, there's not a lot of mainstream stuff I like at the moment. And I know back in the day people hated like G Unit and Dipset and stuff. And I was fans of them both. But now and people now look back on them with nostalgia and stuff and think they think now, oh, actually they weren't that bad after all. But that's comparing it to what's out now, which is fucking
Trash.
terrible. Some of the mainstream stuff. I mean, you got Coil Ray and I mean Ice Spice and all the rest of them. All the women sort of running it now. And it's disappointing when some of them can rap. I saw that 12-year, what was it, Little Yachty or someone, rapping, and they called him a jazz rapper because the beat he was rapping on, but he was just a regular rapper basically, and he had lyrics and stuff, and he was cool, and I'd have listened to him if he was doing that sort of music, um, but yeah, he's obviously doing what he does now, and no, it's not for me.
Because the music industry molds you the way they want you to be, not the way you want to be.
Well, yeah, and people, especially in hip hop, it's difficult because a lot of it is people coming from bad conditions and wanting to make a better life for themselves, which, so you can't, I don't want to be the gatekeeper stopping people from making money, which is where some people come in with the whole M80 stuff, they're like, oh, he's making money for people though. And it's like, yeah, but there's some rich middle class white dudes who had money to start with. That's why they're buying all these feature packs and stuff. But, he's not breaking careers or anything here. But yeah, I don't understand the whole plants thing. Everybody's like, oh, well, they're an industry plant, and anybody who gets any type of success is an industry plant now. I don't know how it works, to be honest.
I don't know how it works. I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff. But
No, I mean, I have opinions on everything, but I don't really care about all the mainstream stuff.
I listen to more underground myself, so and I listen to a lot of '90s hip hop, 2000 hip hop. I don't listen to much of the mainstream. But do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. What's your favourite Cuban Pete track?
My favorite one. Well, you want me to tell you my favorite album?
Album or single, whatever.
Year of the Rabbit.
Cool. Why?
It's just to me, it's just different. It's different. I like the way it's laid out, and I like the flow of it, and it's like the way it's laid out. It's a perfect fit.
Cool. Appreciate it. Because yeah, I don't want to ever. I don't want to be like 50 coming out. Like some of these 50-year-old rappers coming out with their 27th album about selling coke and stuff. You know what I mean? It's like your subject's got to grow with you over the years. I'm very topical on what I write about because it's whatever pops in my head at the time.
And I like
So yeah,
domino. I like the domino effect track, and I like the step up track a lot.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of, especially white rappers, do a lot of the tough guy thing and all that, but I'm definitely different in the sense that I do more hip hop stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, there's not a lot of people like me who would do something like Step Up or Black Excellence or a lot of the tracks I've done really. A lot of them just come in and rap about how tough they are, how everybody's gay, how everybody should suck their dick and stuff.
half of the shit they rap about, they don't even live.
Well, no. I saw somebody did a track recently, basically about the chorus was about killing people and stuff, and not in a serious way, I don't think, but and then you see his profile pictures, and it's like he looked like somebody killed him. It's like,
Yeah,
but yeah, it's weird. You get the skinniest little white dudes making songs about, oh, I'm a killer, I'll chop you with the chainsaw and all the rest of it, and it's like, okay.
they think that's what's going to sell. That's probably.
Well, a lot of people do like white tough guy rap, as I call it, and it's sort of a genre in itself almost.
Yeah.
Everybody's got the gravel voice, and it's like, I don't know. And to be fair, I like people who do it. I like some people who do it, but I can't just listen to that.
Do you have any advice for me as far as
Um,
I'm doing?
I am gonna do that list of things you should be doing to build up the this platform and stuff. And it's difficult. We were talking about advice earlier, and yeah, I do think you can take advice off anyone. Some people say, well, they're not successful at that, so why should I take advice off them? It's like, well, because they know what not to do. You know what I mean? It's like it's all you've got to take the advice for what it is. But lots of people will tell you what you should be doing. Whether they do it themselves, it's a totally different matter. There's various reasons why they won't.
Because
Whether it's money, motivation, or whatever.
I get most of my views on playbacks.
Yeah, yeah. I'll say. I mean, I'm not sure how many people have been watching this, but
It doesn't tell me, so it does. I can't see it right now. If anybody's in here or not.
but yeah. Oh god, yeah, the playbacks. I mean, I'll after the 30 days as well. I'll probably put it on YouTube if that's okay as well.
Yeah. I don't understand. I don't understand why Facebook only allows it for 30 days. I try to increase it, but it won't. It won't let me.
I've never done live before, and I went on before when we were trying to connect or whatever. And yeah, when I stopped the video, it said like do you only want it on for 30 days, or you can do it for 5 days, or whatever? I was like, well, no, delete me going the phone. But yeah, weird. I don't know why 30 days.
I
Like,
don't
you can
know.
always download it, and because I can rip it on the computer anyway, but so you can always upload it as a permanent video afterwards.
Yeah, I didn't think of that.
Mm, always thinking.
I'm trying to get my
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my podcast on Spotify. To be honest.
I thought you were putting videos on YouTube, actually. I'm sure I saw
Yeah,
the Bad Seed one on there.
I'm thinking about it.
I thought you
I'm,
had a channel because I saw the Bad Seed one on there at one point. And then I went back to check it and I couldn't find it, I think, or
uh,
I don't know.
unless somebody put it on there. I didn't start my channel yet, but unless somebody put it on there.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of somebody else then. Maybe there's another interview you did, but I could have sworn it was you because there was a whole ceiling fan going on behind your head.
Yeah, right now I gotta do it from the room, so I'm trying to get my own space, but
Well,
times are tough.
I know. When I said we were doing it at like 1 in the morning, my wife was like, well, I'm at the front of the house asleep and my son's in the back of the house asleep. She was like, where are you going to go? I was like, well, I've got to do it in the kitchen. I don't want to do it underneath you and keep you awake because, I share a bed with you. You'll kick me out. It's like, I'm not going to go out into the woods somewhere, you know what I mean?
I can't do it in the living room because it's too damn loud out there. So
I'd love to say I was doing it from the studio or something, but no, it's the kitchen.
yeah, I I would love to have my own podcast space, but
My wife keeps
I got
saying, like, she keeps daydreaming she's going to win the lottery and stuff, and she's like, oh, look at this house, and I'll look at the layouts and stuff, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I could put a studio there. And she's like, no studios. I'm like, yeah, there will be a studio.
you gotta have your space, man. What you sipping on?
Rum and Coke.
Rum and Coke.
I was
I
expecting Noriega and Ebro and stuff. I thought it was Drink Champs. I don't know.
I tried to get Noriega, but he was busy, man.
He's always busy.
Yeah, he said he could send Charlemagne, but
Thing is, he
I don't,
replied to me on Twitter once, so he owes me an interview on Drink Champs. You know what I mean? It's like, I'll have to call in the favour.
yeah, I like that. I like the chance. That's a funny ass podcast right there. But you got anything else you want to bring out, and then we can wrap it up.
No, just tell people, go to the website, c75live.com. Watch out for the album with Kinetic coming out in July. It's the single on the 9th of July, and then the album drops on the 16th. Hopefully, if he gets around to it, should be doing some videos for the singles. Should be 2 singles. And also go go and buy the hashtag C75 Friday compilation. Like I say, there's 3 bonus tracks, 1 that was unreleased, and 2 with new verses from me and new hooks. Basically, tracks I wasn't happy with the first time round, so I've redone them. But yeah, they sound dope now, so go and check it out. You can get it on CD and digital.
Okay, and if you have anybody interested in an interview, send them my way. I'll be happy to chop it up with them.
Well, yeah. Got to give a big shout to Mind Power Entertainment with Grum Snatcher and Justice Hype running that. And also ESI, Elite Sound International, with Raf Almighty running that. Both people are, teams I work with. So yeah, they've all got projects coming out.
Let them know if they want interviews. Hit me up, and I'll help them promote the album.
Well, we should get on a 3-way. Got me and Crummer doing an album together.
Yeah,
So
we can have 3. We can have 3 people on here. I've done it before. I think we can have up to 4 people on.
cool.
So whenever,
Yeah, I've never done it on air before. I think I've done it on YouTube or I don't know.
yeah, whenever
Yeah.
whenever you want to, when that album comes out, you want to talk about it, bring him on and we can all talk about it.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Go check out the single Checkmate. That's on all DSPs, me and Crim Snatcher. That should be on the album.
Okay. Well, I don't want to keep you. I know it's late there, so.
Well, it's 2:15 in the morning.
Yeah, so I want to
Might
thank
have to finish off this rum, I don't know.
I want to thank you for joining me, and hopefully we can get this good information out to as many people as we can. All right.
Definitely.
All right, man. Thanks for joining me. Stay blessed, man.
You too.
All right.
Catch you later.
Yep.
Peace.
Peace.